Loretta Lynn's 2025, that is a wrap for the amateurs and the amateur national championships. History was made, and a lot of times they fake history, and it's like, oh, well, yeah, he was the only one to win out of the third gate from the inside twice. This is not one of those situations. This girl, racing Kelleher, is next level. I told you guys last week I was watching Enzo Temmerman, and he made me look smart. He's going to get your Nikki Hayden Horizon Award, and that's a big deal. And how about the big man, Shane Kelleher? Oh, he got his first Loretta Lynn's title in the 45 plus, and he did not make it easy on himself. Wait till you hear the story about how he did it. Speaking of the vet riders, I guarantee all of you guys are sore, so get some Nano Extreme, use it for the ride home. You can thank me later. This stuff really works. It's the best pain solution that I've ever used. Head over to Nano Extreme, use code Cooksey and get free shipping. How about Coach Rob's guys killing it out there? The wins, podiums. Coach has guys all over the ranch. People he's trained have done really well. Coach is going to come on this week, and we're going to do a little wrap up and talk about his guys, the event, and just a whole bunch of stuff. Congratulations to Coach Rob and all his guys. He got a few championships. If you want to talk with Coach Rob, click the link below and get your 30-minute consultation with Coach Rob. AJ writes crypto and VeChain. Yeah, they're giving away the Tesla. But more importantly, AJ has helped me learn crypto. It's something I just haven't been able to grasp. I've been watching his channel and investing according to what AJ has told me, and I'm up. Go figure, I'm up on crypto. But if you don't quite understand it like I don't, head over to AJ Writes Crypto, subscribe, and make some money. AJ's turned himself into a millionaire. So yeah, I'm gonna listen to him. But don't forget, we're in the last few days of the contest where you can win a Tesla or $42,000 cash.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
So when I watch Loretta Lynn's, I'm not just looking for the guys that win. I'm not looking necessarily at the results. With that said, Enzo Temmerman's, his results have backed up what I've already seen in Enzo. He is a rock solid racer. He's got racecraft, he's got conditioning. He is ready to go pro. Now, is he going to have a splash like Hayden Deegan or some of these other amateurs that have jumped up? I don't know, but I'll tell you what, he is going to be a top 10 pro, and he's going to make some noise and surprise a lot of people. A lot of the people that don't watch amateurs and only watch pro, they're going to be like, where'd this guy come from? One of these teams, I can't believe nobody has signed him yet. Star Yamaha, what are you doing? Get over there. Get this guy on a contract. Pro circuit, if you don't wrap him up, you're going to lose another star, and this is one that will be a good pro. Not like some of the other busts that they have coming out of there, because Kawasaki seems to produce the most busts out of Loretta Lynn's and amateurs. You're going to let one get away if you let Enzo get off your team. And when I look at that open pro class, my idea is I'm watching it to see who out of this group can actually do something at the pro level, because it gets a lot harder in the next. You got to make a jump. If you peak in the amateurs and you can only get top 10, top 20, you will never make any money as a pro. And when I look at this year's class of Open Pro from Loretta Lynn's, Enzo's the only one that I think is going to have a really solid pro career. Cade Johnson looks good, and I'm partial to Cade Johnson. He's originally from Utah, and as a little kid, he was buddies with a friend of mine, Max Thurston. So I've always cheered for him ever since then. I've been following his career, even though they moved out of Utah, went to Texas, and they've been chasing the dream. I want him to be a good pro. I want him to be a superstar. I don't see him being a good pro. I think he's going to be a top 10 Supercross guy, but I don't see him really establishing himself as a true competitor. I saw some things out of Cade Johnson that I really liked, and I saw some things that I didn't like at all. He's really tall, and that's tough, man. Once you get that tall, it's hard to keep the weight down, and you got to break into the pros on a 250. If you get big, it's difficult. Look at Drew Adams this year. I think that might be one of Cade Johnson's issues. He's getting too big too fast. And what is really alarming to me about Cade, and like I said, it pains me to critique Cade because I'm cheering for him. I like his family. I don't know them personally, but they're friends with friends, and they say nothing but good things about them. It really rubbed me wrong how he made excuses after almost every race. He blamed getting tired on bike setup. And yes, that might be part of the situation, but you can say, bike setup, that's why I didn't do well. Bike setup's not a reason to get tired. I understand they are very related, and it might actually be the issue, but that's not something you want to lean on the podium. That's not an excuse. It doesn't sound good. Manufacturers don't like hearing it. Fans don't like hearing it. Just own it. When you got hot, you got tired, you got beat. You made some changes and you got better. And it's tough for these kids. It's a fine line between being transparent, telling us what happened, and whining and complaining. And as fans, I mean, these guys, it's so difficult for these kids, and I'm trying to be empathetic for it. And it was minor, and most people probably didn't care, but I'm looking at it as if I were a factory team and I heard this kid complaining about the bike and saying that's why he got tired, that would give me pause. And I hope I'm dead wrong on Cade Johnson. I really hope he steps up and becomes a good pro, because I'm cheering for him. Like I said, his family, they have a good story, so I'm hoping for him. But when I look at that Open Pro class, I only see one guy who's going to make a splash, a big splash, and become a race winner, a contender for championships, and that's Enzo Temmerman. Then you got the two Landons, Landon Gordon and Landon Gibson. I'm sorry, but when I see Landon Gordon and I see how much he's raced, that he's had everything given to him to be a top guy, and he just doesn't have it. I think he's going to have a tough pro career. I don't think he's going to have a very long pro career. I think we're going to see Landon Gordon do a season or two, and he'll be on that long list of amateur standouts that never did anything in the pros. Landon Gordon is a top amateur as he has had everything. He's had all the right equipment. He's had the training. He's had things that a lot of kids don't get. And he still hasn't separated himself from the kids who don't have everything that he has to train and get ready. So I don't see him making a big improvement. And that's what you have to do. When you leave Loretta's, you have to make a significant improvement to be a competitive pro. Now, Landon Gibson, he still might be that guy. This is a bad week for him. He didn't really show me. Last year, he was really fast. I think he had the fastest overall lap time, but a lot of that comes down to track conditions. But he looked good earlier in the year. He had some injuries. I don't know if that's what's affecting Landon Gibson right now. I talked to Daniel Blair about Landon Gibson, and he's very high on him. He thinks he's going to be a top pro. And Daniel has a good eye for this stuff. So I'm not going to cross off Landon Gibson yet, but I think he's got to figure out a way to get better and get some more confidence. I don't think he should go pro yet. But then again, I don't know. Because obviously I said Deegan shouldn't go pro when he did, and I was dead wrong. But that's the advice I would give them. Another rider that stood out to me was Deacon Deno. And I don't like this. I wish all the fast guys would be in the pro class, but he's in the B class. He had the fastest lap, much like Landon Gibson last year, but he has different track conditions, but he rode really good. And he seems to be making a big jump, and that's what I look for. I look for these riders who have gone through the amateur system who are still making large improvements, and that's what I saw out of Deacon Deno. So I'll be watching him. He might be a star later on, but I think he's at least got one more year in the amateurs before he goes pro. We'll see how he does in Open Pro next year. Can he step up? Can he have a performance like Enzo Temmerman did this year? We'll see. Hands down, biggest star of the week is Racing Kelleher. I first heard about her when she raced the mini designations they had in France, and she was just sending this big jump. A lot of the boys weren't hitting it, but Racing Kelleher was. She is the first woman in the history of this sport to get a national championship in a boys class. There are a few classes designated specifically for the women. The class she won wasn't one of those. And I've always thought women could be very competitive in motocross because the skills it takes, it doesn't take raw strength. It's not like fighting a man in a cage. It's different. You have a motorcycle. It's about controlling that motorcycle and using the power. And a lot of the proper riding technique involves legs, hips. Women typically have strong legs, strong hips, and good endurance. I think she's going to be a good professional racer. Not women's racer, not men's racer. She's going to be a good professional racer. We've never had a woman qualify for a Supercross main event. I'm telling you, Racing Kelleher, she might be the first one. Watch her, you're going to hear that name. And what a great name. I thought it was a nickname, Racing Kelleher. That's actually her first name, Racing. That is a memorable, marketable name. And Dunlop recognized it, which this was kind of disgusting, but this pissed me off. She's up there, made history. Cobra has been backing her, and all her sponsors have been backing her. And Dunlop walks up there. They haven't had her on the elite program, and they take over the podium, put the hat on her. If I was Cobra and these other sponsors that got her to that point, I'd be like, what are you doing? You weren't part of that. She wasn't part of the Dunlop elite program when she won. Now you're trying to step in there and claim the glory. That didn't sit well with me. That was a marketing fail, Dunlop. You guys, that was a dick move, and I didn't like it. And the level that these women are riding at is unbelievable. Hannah Jameson, Michaela Herrick, and Lala Turner are flying. And they're not just flying for women. They are as fast as most men. And these girls, they're going to make a splash. And I have to say, Michaela Herrick, her interview with Sophie Phelps was so funny. Sophie's trying to lead her into, oh, that was such a great moto. Was it the best one of the week? She just looks at her stone face and goes, no.
That I think we've seen out of you all week is, would you agree with that?
No.
All right.
This is the kind of authentic personality that people either love or hate, but they get attention. Kelleher, you just made a fan out of me. That was so funny, and I love that authentic answer. You told us exactly how you felt. You didn't sugarcoat anything. That's what we want to see. And these women are primed to take this sport to the next level. Women sell just as well as men. It's not necessarily about the raw speed of outdoor nationals or raw speed of supercross. It's about the competition level. The UFC has figured this out. They have cards headlined by women. I don't know why motocross doesn't do this. Like I said, you could bring in the women and give the 250 riders a week off. Bring in the women and give the 450 riders a week off. That will lighten the load on our professional racers, and you'll build more stars. It will be better for everyone. Maybe think about that. We're missing a huge market in the women, and they're no joke. These girls can ride, and once they have something to shoot for, like a factory ride, and they're building stars in the sport, and we have them, if we can get these stars up there and promote them, it will open up a whole new avenue for our sport. We need to do this. So Tase Morgan and Maddx Temmerman, they had quite a battle in their 12 to 15 senior, I think is what it is. But they were the two best mini riders that I saw all week. And while Tase Morgan got both wins, and he's good, I haven't seen that something special out of him. And they're probably going to be pissed that I say that. But he's been around. He's been in the training facilities. I don't think Maddx Temmerman has. I think this is a kind of a new thing. And that's what I look for. I look for big improvements from year to year. And if a guy wins all the time, they could be like a Michael Lessie. Now, Tase Morgan's going to be a star in the sport. I have no doubt about that. But is he going to be a Michael Lessie star? Or is Maddx Temmerman going to be that Ryan Dungey where he steps up, keeps learning later in life, and has a way better career? That's what I see with those two guys. So while Tase Morgan got both wins, Maddx Temmerman, he's the one that got my attention. If you're shipping anything, use Precision Transport. This is a family-owned shipping company that believes in customer service. If you are in charge of logistics and you want to make yourself look good to your company, call Precision Transport or go to the website pretransport.com and get yourself a promotion. Oh, you're tired of showing up at the track and having the same gear as everybody else, but you want a high-quality brand that's just not on every other rider? Go to Alias MX and get this gear, and you'll be looking good and you'll be looking unique. So head over to Alias MX and get your unique badass gear. So the vet classes, typically they're littered with former factory riders, national champions. Mike Brown dominates two of the classes usually, but he's out hurt. Get well soon, Brownie. The only real factory star we still had was Andrew Short, and yes, he did win one of the classes, and then he rode the other class in the Open Pro. Good on Andrew Short. He's there because his kid Hudson is racing, and you might as well race with his son. I think it's a great thing, and I have no problem with it. But the vet rider that stole the show, Shane Kelleher. I am a huge fan of this guy. He got his first championship at Loretta Lynn's, and he did it with a broken thumb. In the first moto, he broke his thumb. And he raced throughout the week. A 45-plus-year-old man who probably has to go to work on Monday or Tuesday broke his thumb, taped it up, and raced. And he didn't just race, he won the 45-plus class. He bested Gregory Paymart, who also has been racing forever. Gregory Paymart has been a fixture on the podium at Loretta Lynn's for a lot of years, but he's never got that elusive win. He got it this year in the 50-plus class. Great job, Shane Kelleher and Gregory Paymart. So this event didn't have that same luster that it has had in the past 4, 5, 6 years. I think it has a lot to do with the prices and the nickel and diming that MX Sports does. It's not so much the tremendous entry fee or camping fee. It's that everything you do at the ranch costs money. I feel like if you walk out of your trailer, they charge you $10. Walk out of your trailer fee, there's a Wi-Fi. And you have to have the Wi-Fi because they don't have phone service really there. And that is very suspect to me that they haven't put a phone tower there. So everybody has to buy the Wi-Fi at $89 a week, which is a huge moneymaker for MX Sports. And they're very plugged in with the town of Waverly. I have to think they could get a phone tower there if they wanted one. They might want to look into that. That seems a little suspicious to me. A couple other things that really bother me about this event. When the heats were tremendous, they were dangerous. According to the Weather Service, they were dangerous heats. They still forced the guys to wear the bibs because sponsors pay to have their logo on the bib. Riders were doing anything they could to try and get airflow, taping them shut and doing whatever they could, but they can't not wear it. It's disgusting that they won't bend on that one little thing. And when there are dangerous heat conditions, take the bibs off. It's just common sense. And I love that the bibs are part of the tradition. And I think you should absolutely have the bibs. Give them to all the riders. I still have the bib from when I raced there. But when we get to excessive heat, come on, let them take them off. And another reason I think the event is losing its luster is people are tired of hearing Tim Cotter talk to them like he owns the joint, like he is the end all, rule all, cross him, you're out type. That mentality wears on people. You spend a lot of money to be there. You don't want to be talked to like a child. That's what Tim Cotter does. So while this event is still awesome and everybody there had a great time, they are slowly but surely killing it. Nobody wants to pay all that money and be treated like they're lucky to be there. You want to pay all that money and be treated good and be a part of the event, not necessarily be just a dollar figure. And that's all you are right now to MX Sports, is a dollar figure. Anyway, congratulations to all the riders who competed in the event. You guys rode your asses off. The heart that was displayed out on that track I enjoy watching it. I watch it all week. I watch all the classes, the C riders, the women, the little guys. It's just fun. And I'll tell you what, in 20 years, you're not going to remember how you finished, but you are going to think back to the times with your family, going to the creek, hanging out. Those are the best things about this sport. So don't worry about your results if you didn't get what you wanted. Just remember how much fun you had, and you got some serious quality time. Parents with your kids, kids with your parents. Just enjoy that, take that in, and remember it for what it is, a great time as a family together. Thank you, members. I appreciate everything. And we have our Nano Extreme winner for July. HON RC212V. You have won. I have no idea what your name is, but that is your handle. Email me at chriscookseymedia@gmail.com and I'll get your Nano Extreme sent out to you. And that makes you member of the day. So thanks, guys, and I'll catch you later.
Let's start this off by saying, we got them. The illegal sale of American motorcycle racing. I present a case that reveals how the American Motorcyclist Association's 2008 sale of its racing properties constituted an illegal transfer of public trust into private hands. My name's B Mazy, and I'm here to stir shit up. So I made a song for you guys. You know, it's crazy that the riders still gotta pay to race, even though these guys are just filling their pockets because they're money-hungry, greedy, stupid mother, ex-circus owners, but still got the same mindset for the Supercross. Screw Feld, screw the AMA, and screw Rob Dingman.